you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So you guys, as promised, I got Adam back today and we're going to do a recap of the Real Housewives of New York. How did it go last night? What did you think of it?
It was crazy. You know, it starts off, we end up going back to the Berkshires, which is Dorinda's house. And obviously they call it the Berserkshires for a reason. Everything always goes nuts there. And this time was no different.
Really? Okay. So what happened? What was the craziest thing that happened? The craziest thing?
You know, I have to say, I love Dorinda, but even more, I love drunk Dorinda.
I love drunk Dorinda.
I love drunk Dorinda too. And I think her being in the Bluestone Manor, first of all, when we come into the Bluestone Manor, we learned earlier this season that it had a lot of damage. So when we come in, they have a girls' trip where they all come to Dorinda's new and kind of improved Bluestone Manor. And it looks so amazing. Like, it really shows Dorinda has a lot more money than what we thought.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But I think she's comfortable because she's in her own space. So she automatically starts, like, throwing them back. We start midway through the episode already. She's talking like this, and you can't understand what she's saying. And she's getting in people's faces. It's great.
I mean, I love drunk Dorinda. I love everybody drunk. Everybody's the better drunk, but everybody on that show drinks, right? Is there anyone who doesn't?
Yeah, because even Luann, like, yes, they all drink. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. What about the new girl, Elise? Does she drink?
She drinks, but she's the most poised with her drinking. I actually, when I did my interview with Elise,
you interviewed Elise?
Yeah,
okay.
You can go check out my interview with her. She's God, she has quite the background. She's from Wall Street, and she was in Wall Street when women that wasn't even a thing. She's a powerhouse.
Her or her husband?
No, she was on Wall Street.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's a powerhouse. She has so many lawsuits under her name where people were suing her for her homes and all kinds of stuff. She has a crazy background, but she's very centered and calm. And she even said that in my interview. I said, do you think they would ever ask you back for another season? And she said, honestly, I don't think I'm crazy enough to hang with these. And then she ended it with BIT.
She said that? Well,
yeah.
You know, I mean, you don't always have to be crazy. Let me think. Yeah, you do. Do we know anyone? Yeah.
What else isn't crazy? And if you're not crazy, you just get kicked off.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you have to be crazy. All right, so I know you did a recap and review on your channel, so we'll have everyone look at that. Let's just talk about the most craziest thing of the night, and that would have to be Luann firing.
I see. I'm confused. Like, I had 3 crazy moments in the night that probably stood out. Actually, 4. I have 4.
Okay.
Reminding me because I get like amnesia sometimes. But Luann, us getting to see drunk Luann again. It was almost like if you've seen her mugshot when she got arrested in Palm Beach, where she's like, "Get off me, I'll kill you." You see that crazy side of her. We all know what it's like to get to that level of drunk. Right? We all know, none of us are innocent. But to see that side of her again and so soon after getting off probation, it was like giving us reality gold. I lived for it. But
I mean, what do you think about her drinking again, Adam? It's not good.
I see why she stopped. It's
not good. I mean.
Oh, no. And the reason that she popped off, I'm not sure if you watched it last night, but if you did, the reason she popped off was because she just wanted to announce to the group that Sonja was going to be joining in on her Cabaret show. And then as soon as she announces, hey guys, Sonja's going to be coming on the show with me, the first question that Dorinda and Ramona ask is, how much are you paying her? And then, of course, Sonja's a little toasty pants, and she goes, she just uses me. And it set Luann off. She didn't say anything bad, and it was complete out of joking. Mm-hmm. And Luann goes, you know what? F you. I don't need you in my show. You're a nobody. But she didn't let it go.
She said nobody?
She said, you're a nobody. I have Broadway stars in my show. I have the highest paid comedians. She's like, I'm not going to pay you more than $250 a show just to rip your dress off and make a fool of yourself.
Oh, Adam. Are you serious?
I know.
What in the world? And she was tipsy? She was drunk?
Oh, I mean, we all know, okay, so obviously Sonja was drunk, right? Mm-hmm. But yeah, Luann was drunk and she didn't let it go. Like, I don't know if it's being drunk and having obviously production cameras following you around as you're drunk, so it amps it up. But she literally did laps around Bluestone Manor while all of them are coddling Sonja on the couch, and they're like, it's okay, she doesn't need it. She's flailing through the manor, and she's like, Sonja, I don't need her. My show doesn't need her. I'm successful. I'm on Broadway. We have a national tour. She just keeps repeating her resume.
Oh, my God. I mean, oh, my God. I hate to say it. I love drunk Luann.
Yeah, no, she's good. She's good. When she's bad, she's good.
Well, so what was Elise doing during all of this?
So that was my other point. So I said I had the 4 points. The one was the way that Luann treated Sonja. My second point was, you know, Elise has been having this problem the last 2 episodes where we see, since we've come back from their mid-season hiatus, we get to see where Elise is, she's not happy with Ramona. She feels like Ramona keeps leaving her out after initially bringing Elise into the group to hang out and film with all of the ladies. But now all of a sudden, Elise is finding out that Ramona is going out with the ladies and she's going to these events, and Elise is never invited. So it's starting to hurt her feelings. So, of course, drunk Dorinda pushes Elise to confront her. She's like, I wouldn't take that. You should go talk to her. Go talk to her. No, seriously, go talk to her.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question. I'm putting you on the spot. I just have to know. Okay. Do you think Ramona's jealous of Elise coming on as a full-time person or being on the show?
Oh, I love Elise, but I don't think by any means Ramona is jealous of Elise. I think
what's her problem?
Leah McSweeney she might be jealous of, but with Elise, I think Ramona has a bigger picture in her head. I think there's like an end game, you know, there's like she sees the big picture, and I think that is like, here's Elise and she's looking over her. Like that storyline isn't prominent enough for her. Yeah. And last night, it almost like hurt my feelings a little bit for Elise, and you can totally tell on Leah's facials that she was offended too. But Ramona, when Elise is calling her out, she's like, you don't think I've been a good friend? Why are you not including me? And Ramona keeps saying, listen, I introduced you to my friends. I let you be around my friends. What more do you want? I gave you friends. And she says it time after time. I gave you friends. I introduced you to my friends. And it's almost insulting.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, my goodness. It feels like she only has friends for what she can get out of them. Basically. Well,
then she proceeds to tell Elise, she's like, you know what? I don't need this. I have 50 of my best girlfriends coming to my party. And Elise is like, you think you have 50 best friends?
I know, that was my, 50.
Yeah, and Ramona goes, yeah, I do. And Elise goes, well, then you're a fool.
Yeah, I don't think Elise is coming back next season. I think she's too calm. I heard that their ratings were dropping. That's what I heard.
Yeah, but the lowest rating since season 7.
That's what you heard too? Since season 7? Yeah. I think that it's going to take time to build back up because you have to get invested in people. So when Bethany's gone, it's like we have a new group. It might take a while for us to get invested in Leah, who is excellent, by the way. I really love her. But
I'm curious though too, because, you know, I had this conversation with my fiance yesterday, and he said, it seems like having Bethany on the show, you know, she was always doing something. There was something that she was doing with her career, her life. Like we got to see that side of it. And I don't feel like we necessarily get to see any of that side with any of the women.
True. Does anyone go to work?
And Luann talks about her cabaret so much that I want to like choke myself every time I hear it. But no, yes. You know, like we don't hear about anything like that. It's just the same story after the same story. So that's why it was kind of a breath of fresh air to have Bethany.
Bethany went to Puerto Rico to help the people during the storm. She was always doing something. You are absolutely right.
And her energy is so just next level beyond. We all wish we could just bottle what she has up. Yeah. Everything she touches turns to gold, whether it's her business selling for $100 million, her charity Be Strong, like she delivers.
Do you think she'll come back?
I just don't think she has to at this point. I know that I don't want to say the wrong network, but I know she's working with other networks to put out actual shows that showcase different upcoming entrepreneurs and businesses in New York City. And she's supposed to serve as like a mentor. I think that they're paying her a lot of money, and I think that she's past this whole Real Housewives stage, especially now, like her divorce and all of that chaos has kind of simmered down. I think she just wants to enjoy her daughter and continue to be successful.
Well, they said it was a Celebrity Apprentice type show. So
yeah.
That might be good. I used to love the Celebrity Apprentice. I really did.
Well, thank God you loved it, because there's our new president, or now.
I at the time when we were watching it, wasn't it wild to think that one day no one ever thought that Donald Trump would become the president? Like, I just loved it. It was crazy.
When people say to me now, they're like, Kanye West running for president, that's so stupid, that would never happen. I was like, I never thought in a million years.
That better not happen. Can you see Kanye West as our president?
Listen, if Kanye West is the president, then everything's over my head. I'm just going to start focusing on Kim K's First Lady outfits. That's all I care about. I don't care about
president. I'm moving to Canada. Like,
yeah,
no.
Oh my God. Can you imagine him just popping off like, enough? But like, he snaps.
He is too unstable to become our president. But so I'm not worried about it. He's never going to be the president. But we had people like, you know who else was interesting? What was her name? Carol Radswell. You think she'll come back now that Bethany's gone?
I don't think that she was that interesting.
Oh, you thought she was boring dating the younger men and all that? Oh, you thought she was boring?
I didn't think she was a great fit for the cast. I thought that she kind of clinged on to Bethany, honestly. And then when she clinged on to Bethany and she started traveling with her when they weren't filming, they created this relationship that nobody understood, because we came back from a season of them not talking to, now they're all of a sudden best friends. And then her third season on, she attacked Bethany over everything. It was so annoying.
It was bad. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
Like she was reaching for anything she could get. And no, I think that what makes a great housewife is a housewife that isn't like striving to have a storyline. Like, I think a housewife that comes in and organically has things going on, and they don't have to constantly like attack or manipulate the situation, which is hard to do, yes, but that's what makes a key housewife.
We need to spruce this up. We need to get Dorinda a boyfriend or something. I mean, do you think John is going to come back into the picture?
Do you know, I asked on one of my recaps the other day, I said, guys, we have to get Dorinda a boyfriend because we're navigating her new single life. And I'm just curious what the people who watch my channel, what kind of man they thought that she would be with. And I had the biggest response that I got was an Eastern European man who's probably in his late 60s, who's well-traveled and a businessman. I'm all for it. She needs a well-traveled, she does need a well-traveled, very professional man. And as we saw, she's not going to get back with that guy. We saw him make a fool of himself many times, where he likes to go out and have that same kind of Luann's ex, Tom D'Agostino thing, where they like to go out and go to whatever that place is that they go into the Upper East, the Regency. You know, like she's past that. I
like John, especially drunk John. I love drunk. Dorinda needs to get with a heavy drinker. That way.
That's exactly what happened.
She needs to get with
somebody to simmer her down from the heavy drinking, because then she gets all in your like.
Because she's gonna drink anyway, so you guys will do it with a partner.
That was one of my top 4 when I was telling you my 4 things last night. When she looks, or Luann looks at Sonja and she tells her like, "You're weak. Like, I don't need you." Blah blah blah. Dorinda actually, in her drunken state, something like lit a fire in her, and she was like, "You know what? This is wrong." So she runs into the kitchen to go confront Luann, and she's like, "Something's wrong with you," putting her hands in her face like super.
Not the fingers, really?
Yeah, she does that. She gets right in your face, and she's like, "You can't attack somebody who's weak." And Luann's like, "This doesn't concern you." And Dorinda's basically like, "This is my house."
It sounds like it was a real shit show.
It was actually, Leah was so well behaved. I was proud of her. But
did you get drunk?
No, we just got facial expressions. She was just like,
yeah. I love drunk Leah too. I mean, so what did you think of the episode? Was it good, or was it building up to something good? They don't have any really huge storylines this season, like cliffhangers, like I've got to watch what happens next. They don't have that. Have you
Yeah,
noticed?
I think that Leah is the biggest cliffhanger this season just because she's kind of the unpredictable, like we don't know what's going to happen next with her. But no, you're right. We don't have any big, like crazy cliffhangers. I was surprised that Leah was on her best behavior last night, but as we saw in the pan over when they were showcasing how beautiful Bluestone Manor is now after the renovations, everything looks super expensive, rich, and breakable. And I think Leah, like knowing how gangster Dorinda is, I think Leah walked in and she's like, I'm not messing up anything.
Well, do you think that Dorinda's more loaded than we already think? Is she possibly like one of the richest ones on the show?
Yeah, for sure.
You think so?
Yes, yeah, for sure. I think she's more loaded than we think. I think Ramona, I mean, the fact that Ramona's sitting on an $8 million house in the Hamptons as her just go-to in the summer house. I know that these houses go for high premiums, like they rent them out for a lot of money, but usually when they rent them out, those are the times that Ramona's there enjoying her house. So obviously she's not like, that's not—
8 million, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And then she obviously has her beautiful apartment on the Upper East Side. So she's probably sitting on at least $13 to $15 million in real estate. And Dorinda's house is almost worth $10 million. Her Bluestone Manor, not to mention her apartment in New York City. Like the women have a lot of money. Dorinda and Ramona are up there at the highest, and then I would say Luann and Leah are at the bottom, and then maybe Sonja somewhere in the middle.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I mean, Dorinda is really down to earth, and she doesn't act like a snob. You would think someone with a lot of money would act like a snob, but she really doesn't.
Well, they said, I think the designer was Gucci, but last night when they walked into her house and she's like, hello. And she looks at Leah and she's like, oh, you're not used to seeing me in my casual clothes at the manor, are you? And Leah goes, you're wearing Gucci socks. These are your casual clothes.
Yeah. So what else was the most memorable thing from last night? We've got drunk Luann firing poor little Sonja. What else happened?
I think the biggest thing, we get to see how the rest of the episode pans out, but everybody came in guns blazing for Ramona. And Ramona has a tactic, like we get to see last night, where they start instigating Elise to have this conversation because Elise is a little bit butthurt about the way Ramona's been treating her. But when she starts having this conversation with Ramona in front of the ladies, her voice and her octave, it stays low. But Ramona's like, stop screaming at me. I have to have a conversation with you alone, not in front of these women. I don't have conversations in front of other women, which we're all thinking, since when? And so she calls Elise over to the side to completely gaslight her into making her feel bad and turn it on Elise. And the other women aren't having it. All of them follow like puppy dogs into the other room. And they're like, no, if you're going to have a conversation, have it. But we see her just belittle Elise time after time saying, these are my friends, you're welcome. And none of the people stood up and said, no, we're actually Elise's friend too. And it was almost kind of just, it was embarrassing for her. I felt so bad.
Ramona drives me crazy, absolutely crazy. I know you're not going to say it. Something's wrong with Ramona, in my opinion. But who's your favorite person on that show then?
Dorinda.
Yeah, hands down. Right. Oh, no. Leah.
She has to earn her. She's right there up there with her. But Dorinda, I ain't get much out of her. And you got to put an easy pass on that vagina. Like she is. And her confessionals are getting better and better. Dorinda,
she's the best.
Usually it's Bethany for me, but Dorinda,
for sure. I just wish that she would get a spouse or a partner, and so they can go places, so we can liven up the storylines just a little bit. They're falling flat for me.
Let's remember that we had this conversation. I'm betting you because she thought that Luann's ex, Tom, was so, or not Luann's ex, Bethany's ex, who passed away, Dennis, was so cute because she loves a bald man. I'm betting you that Dorinda's new man, her next man, is going to be a bald man. We'll see.
Oh my God, you think so?
Yeah, Richard Bald.
I like John. Did you like John?
John?
Mm-hmm.
Medesio?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he was a funny guy. I thought he was cool. I thought the way that he liked to interject with the women and women business.
Oh, yeah,
I was raised super Southern with like just 3 women like way up here. And there's a certain way that you talk to people. watching him, it was almost like watching Denise's husband, Aaron, on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Mm-hmm. It's like they constantly are interjecting in these housewife conversations that it makes you, I get that you want to defend who you're with or your girlfriend, your wife, whatever, but it makes you look bad because as a man, the women are just like, you're not going to win. And do you remember when, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you remember when John came in drunk and said to Bethany, I have a friend that has a company called Skinny Cow. And she goes, right, mine's Skinny Girl, that's Skinny Cow. I'm a girl, you're a cow. Like, it's embarrassing. Don't embarrass yourself. These women are sharks.
I would say the worst husband that interfered would be back to season 1. Remember Simon and Alex? Do you remember them?
Oh, yes. Yep.
Oh my God.
They also used to go at Simon all the time. They used to always say, remember they used to always pick on him because he was so metro and they were calling him gay.
Yeah.
And I remember when Sonja wouldn't let him speak up at the LGBT parade. And she's like, it's about me. And they're like, it's not about you. It's about LGBT rights. And she's like, right, but it's about me. And she's like, you can't talk.
How long would you say Ramona and Luann been there since the beginning, right? Wow.
Ramona and Luann have been there since the beginning. Sonja came in a little bit later. Dorinda came in way later. But I think that we don't realize Dorinda, I could be wrong, but Dorinda's been on for at least 5 or 6 seasons. She's more seasoned than we think.
Yeah.
I lived in New York City 4 or 5 years ago. And it was after her first season of being on the Housewives. And I was working at Fred's at Barney's down in Chelsea. And she came in. I didn't know who she was. And I served her, whatever. And then the bartender said, oh, my God, that's Dorinda. And I was like, the really nice lady? I was just like, she was very funny, witty. Yeah. She asked, she's like, what's good on the menu? I said, the rotisserie chicken's delicious. And she's like, ooh, delicious. She's like, that's a strong word. Better live up to it. She's funny.
She's charming. She's charming in person. Yeah.
Very charming.
Look the same. Sometimes people look different when you see them in person. Does she look the same?
No, she looks exactly the same. I think that you never see her, like, we'll see her when she's all glammed up and she looks amazing. She does it at the right times. But I love the fact, like, when we can see a housewife who does her day-to-day and she doesn't look like she's had 5 pounds of makeup thrown on, you know?
Yeah.
Like the Kardashians, you'll never see step out without a face full of paint. I like that we get to see Dorinda, like, without it.
She's really cool, really down to earth. Okay, you guys, that's me and Adam's opinion of what happened last night. For the entire recap, go to Adam's channel. Go ahead, Adam, take it away. Where's your channel?
Yeah, thank you. Check out my channel at Up and Adam. The little exclamation mark, whatever, and yeah, follow my recaps. I appreciate you having me on here.
Yeah, well, not just on here right now. We're going to have you back tonight. It's going to be your first block party. It gets crazy, Adam. So,
I have a question, though, for the block party. Am I supposed to show up with a Heineken like Perry?
No, please don't. We don't need any more crazy Perrys around. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. And so we'll see you back tonight at 7 o'clock Pacific time. Yeah. And then that's 10 Eastern. Okay. So you guys don't forget to check out Adam's full recap on his channel, Up and Adam. All right, Adam, thanks for coming. I'll see you next Wednesday when we talk about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And then we'll also see you tonight.
All right.
Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.